All right, Shalom family, welcome. Come on in, come on in. All right, hopefully everybody's doing well. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in Yahweh's sight. He is our strength and our redeemer, and it is in his name, which is his authority, that we pray, praise, proclaim, project, and protect tonight's message. Aman. Welcome everybody. Shalom. Anai Kofi, Kohelet, the servant of Christ, my Shalom Kei. Hello everybody, I am Pastor Kofi, Pastor Servant of Christ, where we are always changing lives one mind at a time, but being a voice of the voices and speaking the unspoken. Thanks for being on with us. Just coming over from class, and I'm in the middle of doing a bunch of other stuff. All is well, though. Trying to get set up. We can get started. Trying to get things together. Technology is not my friend right now, but at least we got a signal. Prayerfully, you guys can hear us where you are. We praise Yahweh for you. Thank you for being on with us. We appreciate your presence tonight. As we continue to go through what we're going through. As you can see, I am not anywhere close to the 11 box. So we'll complete that. We're ready to complete it, and then my pencil, the lead popped out of it, so it is what it is. But thank you everybody for being on. Hopefully we'll be able to meet you where you are as far as the word is concerned. We're going to say our Bible pledge real quick, and we'll jump right into tonight's lesson. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of mine heart be acceptable in Yahweh's sight. He is our strength and our redeemer, and it is in his name, which is his authority, that we pray, praise, proclaim, project, and protect tonight's message. Aman. Alrighty, Aman. Amen. How's everybody doing? Probably be on here about 25 minutes or so. I got to jump off here and get back to family business. But hopefully all is well with everybody. Thank you for attending again. Tonight we're going to talk about specifically elite coaching, life coaching, elite coaching, and who is coaching us. What are we getting out of who's coaching us? And we once again give our praise and honor to the Most High, Yahweh Elohim. We give our praise and honor to him for my wife, the Honorable Amma, who lives a life is able to be honored. As always, you can check her out on TikTok, YouTube, her website, and Pinterest at Bloom and Flourish. Not A&D, the letter N, Bloom and Flourish. She is a healer, herbalist, chemist, and biologist by degree. Let me check something real quick. Sorry, I think we just lost TikTok. My bad. I should have went on the other device. Alrighty, cool. Okay, so Minister Shante, I'm all over the place, to be honest with you. If you didn't have anything written down, maybe we'll try to have you on another time. I just realized I saw your name pop up. I was like, I never got back to see what you texted me back, fam. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. It said looks like you didn't have anything written down, so okay. I think we still have some stuff. I got to get it together. That's why I made sure I messed up with getting to you on something else. So I think we might have something written down in our system, so we'll get that together. So I apologize. Anyways, pray for me. Got a little bit of a headache and everything. At least was able to get a little bit of food in me. I think that was part of it. I was a little faintish. I'm all over the place though. But tonight, okay, all right. I'll make sure we get it together. I'll sit down with Sister Renee. I think I'm just all over the place. Praise Yah for help because I need it right now. Man, we praise Yahweh. He is our help, and we're going to depend on him tonight. So how you doing, Minister Shante? How you doing, Sister Shima? Emmanuel, how you doing? Sorry about, it was paused for a second. That was me looking up stuff. I could have looked it up on another device, but that's my bad. How you doing, Sister Deborah? How you doing, Sister Helen? How you doing, Lifeline? By the way, those who have SOC University, we did come on tonight. We did Q&A. If you missed it, just go ahead and watch the recording on there for SOC University. You should be able to get access to it. And thank you guys for your patience of being on with us. How you doing, Minister Morel? How you doing, Yaquab? Or Yaquab, or not sure how you pronounce it, depending on the dialect. But thank you for being on. How you doing, Children of the Most High? Brenda, how you doing? Jonaki, Sister Monica, Sister Carla, Brother Joseph, everybody, Sister Sheila, Sister Sherry, Sister Sherry, Big Brother Thomas, Shatha, everybody. Everybody, if I miss your name, charge to my head, not to my heart. So tonight, once again, we're going to talk about elite coaching. Elite coaching. All right, because there's a lot of people out here who are supposedly helping you out, and it is, around football season. And I was watching an old interview with Ryan Clark and the two Fred something, and I forget the other guy who's on with them. But they have a little podcast and stuff that they do. I forget what it's called, but they had on the coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Mike Tomlin. And Mike Tomlin said something that was very astounding. I've heard him say it before, but it resonated really true tonight. I was trying to figure out what we're going to call tonight, this and that. And as soon as he said it, I said, "Yep, that's it. Thank you, Holy Spirit." Um, thank you, Sister Shima, in the chat. Appreciate you. He said, Mike Tomlin said something that was awesome. It was amazing. He said, "I love it," and I'm not going to quote it exactly, so forgive me. But he basically said, "I love it when." How you doing, Brother Craig? He said, "I love it when coaches talk about everything except pedigree," right? And I said, "Ooh," right? So he's talking about, if you're not aware, the combine, the combine that's going on, and when they test everybody out, to see how fast you are, how big and strong you are, what size your hands are. I mean, they measure everything, right? And they're trying to figure out, how worthy you are of whatever they're going to draft you in, how much money they're going to pay you, etc. And he said, "I love it when coaches talk about anything that has to do with outside pedigree." I said, "Oh, yeah, that's a Salah moment, right?" I said, "Oh," "You're speaking my language, coach." And he went on further to say that basically, if he hears somebody talking about, well, their hand position isn't right when they get in position to go ahead and put their hands in the dirt, he said, "Well, that's coaching." He said, "What does that have to do with how fast, how big, how strong, right?" He said, I love it when they say, "Oh, his arm angle could be such and such different." He said, "Oh, I like that, because they're going to pass on somebody that if we just coach that, they have the ability to do great things." And whenever we're talking about somebody who's coaching us, they should be somebody who's looking, or if we're coaching anybody for that matter, we should be looking to be able to see something in somebody that deals with the potential, that deals with the pedigree, right? Anybody here who's ran track, if you got really long legs and your stride is better than everybody else's, but you run, in the wrong fashion, right? You run in a fashion that might seem to be considered to be wrong. Is it wrong, or can we coach it to where you can use it as an advantage, right? Usain Bolt has actually a very great technique. However, you know, he's somebody who's taller. So if somebody saw Usain Bolt and said, "Well, he doesn't run like some of the people who more traditionally run," but you don't recognize that he's taller, he's longer, right? And so I might need to see what his strengths are and coach him to be the best at what he is and who he is already, rather than trying to say he needs to look like Michael Johnson, or he needs to look like Carl, or he needs to look like whomever, right? He might not need to. I might not need to see him run like Jackie Joyner Kersee, because Jackie Joyner Kersee, right? Even though she's going to have similar movement to a male, she's not a male. She's a female. So why would I try and coach Usain Bolt to run like Jackie? You see, right? Who's the sister that everybody was getting on because she had the weave and everything? Not the weave, but the wig. And everybody was trying to make fun of her. And she lost a little bit. She was smoking weed and all that. And then she started losing after that. And she lost her confidence, and she came back. Right? Who was that, sis? What's her name? Somebody help me. I can't recall her name at the moment. But she came back. She started winning. And when she started winning, and she wasn't worried. But she has a whole different run. Matter of fact, you might say her run is kind of odd. Her start is really bad. She doesn't start as well as others, which you could say is something she needs to improve on, sure, right? But her start is really bad. Shikari, thank you, Shikari Richard, right? And you might say that her start is bad, this is bad, or whatever. But when she starts going, and she's lower to the ground, so her run is going to be different, right? Her run is going to be a lot different than a lot of other people's run. So why would I coach her to be like everybody else? Matter of fact, watch this. The things that pumps her up. Everybody say, "Oh, she hood, she ghetto, she not like everybody else." But what gets her going is different than what gets everybody else going. So I might need her to listen to different music. I might need her to sound different, to speak different, because she's not going to be the same as everybody else. And thank you for the love, appreciate it. Right. So how you doing? So Tender Shisha. So we have to get into this place of where Is somebody coaching you to be the best you can be, or is somebody trying to coach you to be the best version of what they'd like you to be? Right? Are you under elite coaching? Are you under somebody who is going to do everything in their power to get the best out of you? Right? And as much as people don't want to hear this, everybody needs a coach. Everybody needs a coach. How you doing, Pastor Hamilton? Everybody needs a what? A coach. Not maybe. Everybody needs a coach. I don't need nobody to tell me what to do. It's not about telling you what to do. It's about somebody who can observe what you're doing, and they might not be on the same level physically as you are. But what if they can see what you cannot? You see that? What if somebody can see something in you that you can't see in yourself? This is why when you go to the gym, right, and you have somebody who's a helping you out physically, and they're coaching you through certain things or whatever, they might ask you to give you. They say, drop and give me 20. You say, I can't give 20, but they saw you give 10 the other day, and they realized that your 10 might have looked great, but they want to maximize what's going on. So you need a better workout than 10. For somebody else, 10 might tear them up right now because they haven't done 2 since 1992. Right? Since it was 1992, they haven't given 2. But they might say, give me 10 because or 20 because they saw you give 10. And even though it seemed like it was hard and you feel like you were going to fall out, they're pushing you to a level that you haven't done in a long time. Get something out of you that you might not have ever seen before, right? So you got to realize and recognize that some people are trying to push you and trying to get something out of you, trying to get you to achieve and become something that you've never been before, right? You gotta recognize. You got to say to yourself, oh, okay, like I need somebody who can see something in me that cannot. If I've got babies, my part of my responsibility in coaching them is to help them to obtain something that they within of themselves might not obtain. It's not the dad's hard on them. It's not the dad doesn't care about them. It's not the dad that's trying to force them to do something. It's that dad sees something in them. Also, too, dad's already run that race. I've run the race of in our family dealing with this specific thing. And so when I see anything that looks like it, I'm already telling you, get your technique together, right? Put your shoulders back. Make sure those arms are straight, right? Don't bend over. Don't don't bounce too much. Get your knees, right? Get your knees to line up, right? Some of these exercises they're doing, get your knees. Don't do this. Don't do this. No, keep it straight, right? I need you to keep that life straight. I need you to make sure that you're not bending over and just letting anybody say whatever they want. I don't need you to lean to unrighteousness. I know what that is, right? Mom might need to tell baby girl, hey, baby girl, when somebody says this to you, they trying to get in between them legs, right? Don't listen to that, right? I might be a father, be able to talk to your daughter. Men, when they say this is what they mean, right? You might a mother might need to say to her son, "Hey, son, talk to a woman like this, and she needs to talk to you like that. And if it's not, that's not what's going right. If she's not going to do those things, then she's not the one for you." Right? We all need coaching, and we need elite coaching. Done are the days where people should be able to say whatever they want, treat you however they want, whatever. You need elite coaching. You need somebody that's down for your best interest. And watch this: if they give you your best interest, then they win too. Right? Usain Bolt's coach is somebody that gets paid by other runners, because if Usain could win with that coach, then they want to see that coach help them out. And all the people that you see, Tiger Woods, he's got a coach, right? Tiger Woods, he's got people that come in and say, he's not just doing everything by himself. He needs somebody to walk with him and to talk with him and to make sure that his swing is correct. Right? LeBron James spends $1 million at least. He famously spends $1 million a year on making sure that people help him to take care of his body. That means somebody's got to tell him, eat like this. That means somebody's got to cook his meals. That means somebody has to say, hey, today we're starting on this. That means somebody has to study. With Michael Jordan back in the day, he had an elite coach. I can't remember his name, Tim something, wrote a whole book on stuff and became famous because of coaching. And literally he would count, how many times did you dribble with your right hand? How many times did you dribble with your left hand today? Right? How many times they would go through tape? How often did you go over your right shoulder? Right? What are your tendencies? Is it easy for you to get to your spot? A lot of people might not be aware of this because we just go, okay, Michael Jordan, he's mythologized and all this stuff, and he's deified even to a certain degree. However, if you study Michael Jordan couldn't dribble that well. not in North Carolina. When he first got there, Kenny Smith will tell you he locked up Michael Jordan. Still tell you to this day. Now somebody say, oh, that's just Kenny and blah. No. Michael Jordan, go look at him. Michael Jordan couldn't dribble that well. When he got to the NBA, he still was dribbling mainly with his right hand, right? So but he was so talented in comparison to the other people, he'd get past it. All of a sudden, he comes back in the NBA, and he was playing. I know people have this myth that Michael Jordan just stopped playing basketball, but he was playing basketball the whole time. He came back and he beat a bunch of NBA players, and in a what do you call it? I guess in a charity game, I guess you call it, that Scottie Pippen put together, whatever, and they beat him pretty bad. And Michael Jordan was the best player on his team by far, and he had what we call bums and scrubs or whatever on his side, right? And he beat him so bad, came back to Scottie Pippen and said, don't ever try to stack the team against me, right? When he was doing Space Jam, Michael Jordan was playing basketball the whole time. That was part of the thing. He had, on the condition, he had to have a basketball court that was there so he could play, and he had all these great NBA players coming to play with him. He was practicing the whole time. So when you guys see him come back, don't fall for the hype when people try to say Michael Jordan came back, and you can't go ahead and say that when he came back for Chicago the second time, or when he lost in, 94, 95 season or whatever that was, in the playoffs to Orlando, you can't say he was the same Michael Jordan. No, he had been playing, right? But he came back and tried to do the same thing. And in a couple of years, things had changed. Teams were doing things different. He came back. Nick Anderson was ready for him to dribble on one side, knowing that he wasn't going to go to the other. That's how he gets that famous deal where they win, right? And then the next year, what happens? Michael Jordan has to practice certain things. He has to be in a certain position. He says, okay, I'm going to grind. I'm going to make sure that I'm not the same way that I used to, then get me the same way. And now he's got a fadeaway. Did he have a fadeaway before? Sure, but not the Jordan fadeaway, which became, now people think about it as the Kobe fadeaway. That didn't exist before. LeBron James, he runs to the Dallas Mavericks, and everybody just goes, LeBron James froze. He was able to do all the great things to get him there. Then all of a sudden he froze. No, study the tape. LeBron James didn't have a post game. 6'10", some people say close to 7 feet, but he's 6'10", has all that strength, 285 pounds, 3% body fat, but he can't post up somebody who's half his size. So they literally could put the smallest player on him, have him to where he's posting up. He ain't know what to do. Then you get to the fourth quarter, and they give the ball to Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade's going to try and play hero ball like he did the last time, but now this time they're in his zone. They had LeBron James stand to the side. So guess what they have to do the next season? Before the next season started, if you remember, it was a strike shortened season that year. During the strike, the coaches come together. Hear this now. The coaches come together. Eric Spoelstra, Pat Riley comes down from where he is, all these coaches, and they come together and they start developing a system to where now you can have people with very similar talents be able to move the ball around. Next thing you know, now LeBron James, the next year, he's able to do greater things than what you saw. They try to put him in the zone, try to do a lot of stuff. They can't stop him because a system was put together, right? If I have a great coach, the coach is going to help me to put together a system. Have you put together a system in your life, right? Even remember the word world in the Bible, even it means what? System. Cosmos with a K, K-O-S-M-O-S. It's a system, right? Everything that you're dealing with is systemic or systematically put in place. And if you don't have a system, if you don't have habits, if you don't have a go-to move, if you don't know how to get to your spot, if you don't know when all things going terribly and this and that, I can get to my spot in prayer. I can get to my spot in life. I can get to my spot in loving my spouse. I can get to my spot in loving myself. When I'm doing things and everybody tells me to get my foot off the gas and start depressing, I have a certain mindset that helps me to stay pressed and stay committed. I can always have gas in my tank, no matter what. What is the system that you have in place? The people that are coaching you or the people you're coaching, what is the system you have in place, right? Michael Jordan played every year he won the championship. He played in the triangle, right? Every year that Kobe Bryant won a championship, he played in a triangle, right? There's a system. Some people would tell you LeBron James, because of the way it works with him, he is the system, but they have to make up a system that goes with him. So wherever he goes, he's got to have three-point shooters around. If he doesn't have three-point shooters around, he doesn't win championships, right? He's got to have people who he can depend on to go ahead and get fouled sometimes. The Chicago Bulls, when they were winning all those championships, they had three centers in a rotation. Why? They didn't care about those three centers being great. They just needed three centers that could guard somebody. And if they ran into somebody that was too much for them, they could at least get 18 fouls. It sounds like that's kind of whack. Why would I be on a team just to get fouls? But that was part of the system, right? You can do other things. Luke Longley wasn't somebody that just got fouls. Luke Longley could get buckets from time to time, but his goal was what? Get us some rebounds, get some fouls, and be somebody that could be there to calm Dennis Rodman down from time to time, right? Right? There was a system that was there. Michael Jordan, right? They never really had a point guard like that. When Ron Harper came over, Ron Harper was a shooting guard, but he could play defense. Well, if we can have two 6'6" guys out there, Michael and Ron, then have a 6'7" guy next to him that's pretty daggone good too, Scottie Pippen. And then we could even have somebody out there that can move around on defense like a Dennis Rodman or a Tony Kukoc or a Horace Grant. Then the center really ain't got to be that great, because we got a system. And on offense, we don't really care who brings it up. Scottie Pippen can bring it up every time. Michael Jordan can bring it up some of the time. Whoever brings it up, but we got a system. We got a triangle system to where we don't have to worry about a point guard has to have the ball. We can just make sure the ball swings, the ball moves, and then when it's time, hey, everybody get out the way. It's Michael time. Right? In your life, what is the system that you have in line? And who are the people that are going to be in that system? Who are the people that are going to help you to win? That's one of the things that you have to have. See, as a coach, you're supposed to put together a team of winners. So when you put together your team, who is the team of winners? And who are the people that are different than you? Not everybody can play the point. Not everybody can be shooting guard. Not everybody can be small forward. The running back is not the quarterback. We don't need the running back to throw the ball well. From time to time, 3 to 4 times a year, that might be something we do at the most. But we don't need a running back who can throw the ball. We need a running back who can run the ball. We might need a running back that can catch the ball. But even if he can't, we might have another running back that can come in and catch the ball and substitute out, right? Who are the people in your life that can be substituted in and out? You see what I'm saying? And how you doing, Star? Thanks for being on. How you doing, DB? Right? Who are these? Who is the team when you're putting together? Right? Who are the teammates that you're finding that are better at you in certain things? And watch this, are worse than you in certain things. I need some people that are better than me in certain places, but I also need to realize that they're going to be worse than me in certain places. What you mean, Kofi? What I mean is that I'm not concerned about everybody doing what I do well. See, some of you are looking for everybody in your circle or everybody on your team to do what you do well. Matter of fact, some people want a team of everybody that just says, good job, boss. Yes, sir, boss. Yes, man. Yes, women. Yep. Just do whatever you keep on doing, whatever you want. They just got to keep pronouncing you and proclaiming that everything that you do is righteous. Nobody can tell you that you messed up. Nobody can correct you at all. How you doing, Heavy MC? Right. Nobody can tell you you need to get your life on track. Nobody can tell you maybe you should eat different. Nobody can tell you, hey, maybe you made a mistake. You have it set up where everybody's is just a yes person on your team. But I need some people that have strengths and some people that are so strong in what they do, they can correct me and the things that I cannot. You hear what I'm saying, beloved? Who in your life, who on your team can correct you? Who on your team is better at you in this regard? Right? Who on your team plays defense and you play offense? Because when they play defense, offense gets off the field. Why are you on the field for offense and defense? I know that you did that when you was in Pee Wee League, but when you was little, yeah. But now that there's some structure and now that people get paid a salary, now that there's people on the team, they're supposed to do this and take care of this. Who on your team is on offense? And so you can go ahead and just be defensive. Who on your team plays defense and you can just be offensive? Who on your team is special teams to where they don't play offense or defense, so they might be able to play, but that's not their focus. I know I'm talking a lot about sports tonight, so forgive me if some of this stuff or some of these people I'm talking about are not people that are in your frame of reference, but hopefully it's making sense, right? Terrell Davis, considered to be one of the greatest running backs of all time, started off on special teams, wasn't on offense or defense. He had to prove himself on special teams, and then eventually he got on offense. But he got to offense because he was great at special teams. Shannon Sharp, one of the greatest tight ends of all time, he started off on special teams. Right? He didn't start off in the limelight. He started off showing that he could make tackles and stuff. Then he got on offense, and then during the practices, John Elway saw that he could run. Matter of fact, Shannon Sharp will tell you this himself. Shannon could not run routes. He didn't really know how they were supposed to go. He wasn't that great at it, right? But he had the talent. John Elway saw it. John Elway would just say, he would call a play, and then we look at Shannon. He would say, this is what I need you to do. Do this, and then do this. And then Shannon would be faster. Watch this. Shannon Sharp, he had to learn how to play as a team. Watch this. This part really blessed me when I learned this. Shannon Sharp would actually run too fast for the play. Right? He literally would run too fast for the play. Oh, you met him, cool, right? He literally would outrun the play because he was so fast, and they weren't used to tight ends that were that fast. So John Elway, when he would go to try and throw it, he would try to throw it, and Shannon was already past. So he had to explain to Shannon, look, I know you fast, I know you great and all that, but that's not how I, as the quarterback, see it in my head. We got to see this thing together. So if you outrun me, it doesn't matter that you beat your defender. It doesn't matter that you can say to everybody, look at me, I'm faster than everybody else. If you outrun where I'm going to throw the ball, then it doesn't matter if I throw the ball there, because even if it doesn't get intercepted, it'll be an incompletion every time. Have you learned in your life, have you gotten the coaching necessary, and have you learned the playbook necessary to be able to make sure that just because you have the natural ability to do something quickly or do it better, does it mean that you're doing it better within the confines of the team, or what's best for the confines of the team? Or are you doing what's best to be able to say, look at me, I'm open, look at me, I can do it. Look at how many views I got. Look at how many people I do. Look at how my family ain't doing this and I'm doing this, right? If you're on my team, you hear what I'm saying? If you're on my team and I'm the quarterback, I need you to run the route to where I'm gonna throw it. Come on, even greatness needs coaching, right? If I go back and I'm ready, and now I don't see you where I need to see. Oh, it's too late now. I got to look somewhere else, or I'm taking a sack. And if I take a sack, then we all lose yardage. If I get tackled, we all lose yardage. Not some of us. You not see. This is the problem with a lot of fans. You're sports fans. You were sports fanatics. You cannot actually look at the sport correctly. A lot of people, because you don't look at how does everything go. You just go, the quarterback was trash. A lot of people don't know how to study tape, so you're not worried about did the wide receiver do the right hitch. If it was a go route, was it supposed to be straight go route? Were they supposed to stutter step? Were they too fast? Were they too slow? Right? There's a lot of stuff that goes to it, but what do? You want the quarterback to come up and you say it's all about quarterback wins. There's a whole team. There's 11 people on the field for your team at any point in time. 11 people got to make that thing happen, and the quarterback's not going to do that great if the offensive line isn't great, right? And the wide receiver might be great, but if the quarterback's getting sacked because the offensive line's not that great, then it doesn't matter how open he gets it, the quarterback can't ever throw on the ball. And if the running back's not that great, then even no matter how much you try to fake it to him and then come back ready to throw, you're going to get hit because people don't trust that you're going to give it to the running back, because the running back can't run. And maybe he can't run because the offensive lineman can't block. And maybe the tight end who's always trying to catch the ball, maybe he needs to at least chip block, if not block sometimes. There's a whole team that's responsible for this thing called success. And the team has to be able to have a coach that can put them in position, right? I got stuff that I got to do tonight. As you can see, I'm all over the place, but I got stuff that I got to do tonight. So I apologize. We won't go as long as we normally would. I got a matter of minutes. So I'm going to try and say it like this. When it comes to elite coaching, elite coaches, they put their players in position to win. Right? Your responsibility is to put your players in position to win. Your coach's responsibility is to put your players in position to win. Watch this. So if the coach tells you something, you might need to listen to the coaching. You hear what I'm saying? Right? And the coach is supposed to be, and watch this, the coach is supposed to have a team. We got ministerial staff. There's some things that Minister Shante can coach you on that Pastor Kofi can't. I promise you. Right? If it's going to be a woman-to-woman thing, you might not want to come to Kofi. Right? If it's going to be a herbalism thing, you might not want to come to Kofi. You might want to come to Amma. If it's going to be a grief coaching thing, you might not want to come to Kofi, even though I can help. But also we have other people that are there to take some of the burden off so I can focus on the issues that I have in my position. So you might want to go to Minister Elisha. If you're looking for something that's prophetic, I'm not a prophet. Now you can say I prophesy when I speak and preach and stuff, but I'm not a prophet as far as what, the position entails, right? That's not my gift. I can prophesy, but only when the Holy Spirit gives utterance, and that's not my gift. So guess what? We got Minister Yassab, we have Minister Anais. If you need to have something that's dealing with the brothers, hey, you've got Minister Morel, right? You need to talk to somebody on the West Coast. You can talk to myself, or you can talk to Minister Moselle, right? If you need to be able to have somebody help you with discipline, you got Minister Tamara that'll tell you every once in a while, hey, discipline, about the word. If you need somebody that'll be able to help you out and look into your life and do so with some empathy, all of us should be able to do that. But hey, you got some people like Minister Jenny and Minister Smail LeRae. You see what I'm saying? Right? Like, you got to know your coaches. There's a offensive lines coach. There's a defensive lines coach. There's a linebacker coach. There's a running back coach, right? There's a wide receiver coach. There's different coaches for different things. There's an offensive coordinator. There's a defensive coordinator. Not because the head coach doesn't know how to do it all, but even if they wanted to try and do it all, they shouldn't, because they're only one person. And so everybody on the team that you see on the sideline is not a player for a reason. They allow the coaches there for a reason. Matter of fact, depending on where you are at the time of play, if it's practice or if it's a game, your coach might even be in a different position. So you might have to pick up the phone and call up to the offensive coordinator because he's trying to see everything from on high, right? It's easier for him to see things. Usually the offensive coordinator is up high, so he's trying to see everything up high. Right, you got to figure out what your position is. What if it's the team owner? The team owner sometimes needs to be quiet and get out the way. Yes, you spent the money. Yes, you're in charge. Ultimately, you're going to get handed the trophy. The trophy doesn't even belong to the team. Y'all get that twisted. The owner of the team owns the trophies. Michael Jordan didn't. When he went over to the Washington Wizards all of a sudden didn't get 6 extra trophies and go from the 1 or 2 that they have to 7 or 8. Right, his trophies belong to the Chicago Bulls. Right. But at the same time, the owner give us the checks, get the coaching together, be quiet, and make sure that you let us do what we do. Right? Even the owner has a position. As much money as you have, this, that, or whatever, even the owner has a position. Sometimes his position is to be quiet. That's why some of you Dallas Cowboy fans even would admit this. That's why some of y'all hate it when Jerry Jones talks, because he talked too much. Sometimes get yourself behind there and be quiet. Take yourself off the radio from time to time, right? That's why even in the Bible, a pastor is not necessarily even supposed to be what you guys think a pastor is. A pastor is a kohelet. A kohelet is an assembler. A pastor doesn't even have to be a great teacher or orator. A pastor just needs to make sure that he can put an assembly together and make sure that he coaches them well so that we operate well together. Moses' main thing, out of all the stuff that we talk about, Moses' main thing was that he kept the nation going, of course, with the direction of the Most High. That's what Moses' main gig was to make sure that what he did, that everything was going in place. He was the coach, right? And he couldn't handle everything himself either. Remember, his father-in-law, Zipporah's father, had to come to him and say, hey, Moses, I know you're trying to do all this stuff, but you're going to mess around and hurt yourself and get us messed up. Make sure that you put people in place. Make sure you give some of this responsibility to the leaders of the families. Make sure you give some responsibility to Levites. Stop trying to carry everything yourself. You can't carry it, right? Because even the head coach needs coaches. Even the head coach needs sleep, right? I don't know who this is for. Hopefully this is making sense. Praise y'all. But like I said, my time is short tonight, right? And just don't forget that you need elite coaching and you need to become an elite coach. Whoever you've been who you've been called to lead, make sure you keep these things in mind. Build your team up. Go with your family when you get a chance, your babies, and talk to them babies and make sure that you know their love languages too. Love languages aren't just for the mother and the father. It's not just for the coaches. You need to speak their love language, and you need to see what they're going to do for the family and what they're better at than you, right? Or even what you see they shall become better at than you. Because guess what? When they become older, then that needs to be what they do. And you need to let them do it, and you need to coach them now so that they can become greater than you. Christ said this. He said, greater things shall you do. One of the greatest lessons, yet one of the least talked about lessons. Greater things shall you do. What does that mean? I'm coaching you. I gave you the example. I'm putting time in. I'm doing all this stuff. All right, greater things shall you do. I'm coaching you up because at some point you're going to do something great. You're going to have access to phones that I didn't have. At some point, I'm coaching you up. When you perform miracles, people shall see it. At some point, when people say that you can't come out of that mess, you're going to come out of it. And because they're going to see you go from imperfection to being perfected, they're going to see something in you because I didn't go from imperfection to being perfected. They're going to see a miracle in you that they didn't even see in me. There's going to be some things because he cannot sin. You were in sin. You were shaven in iniquity. And here it is that you're becoming perfected. Somebody's going to see that and say, wow, if that person can become like Christ from where they were, look at what I'm going to do. But you're going to have to get coached, and you're going to have to coach them through. Very last thing. And then I'm over time even for being short as usual, right? Very last thing. Be careful of people who want to give you a formula, but don't want to give you any milk. I'm going to say that again. If you missed the whole thing tonight, catch this. Be careful of people who give you formula, coaches, parents, pastors, etc., who give you formula but don't give you milk. All right? Here's what I mean. Baby formula can have a baby go from a small baby to a baby that can go ahead and start eating, right? However, baby formula does something to your system. Baby formula causes baby's poop to look different. Baby formula causes different things to happen in the urine. Baby formula causes babies to not be attached to their parents. Baby formula is something that can cause cancers and other things. Baby formula can do something to where jaundice doesn't disappear as fast, right? And it's a formula. And I know we've been given this stuff that's formulaic, but you need the sincere milk. Isn't that what the word says? Paul says, I've given you the sincere milk because watch this. Baby formula will cause you to keep looking for other formulas, will cause you to be more in tune with things that are not natural food, will cause you to not be in your humanity the way that you are, right? Right? But watch this. Yeah, it smells different too, right? But watch this. But the sincere milk even changes per baby. If you have twins and your baby's breastfeed, your twins will get different milk even to each twin. Some mothers breastfeed their twins off of a different breast, right? Every baby's getting something a little different. And when your baby gets sick, do you know that the formula changes because you who are doing skin to skin all the time and getting the oh, okay, like even if you don't know it, like at the top of your mind, in the reaches of what you guys call your subconscious, you guys know that, or the sisters know, right? Who are developing the milk for the baby. You already know. Oh man, my baby's sick. The milk changes. The formula never changes, but the milk changes. And here's one thing that you got to realize in coaching. Watch this. Formula is not designed for you to come off of it, right? But milk is designed for you to be weaned. I'm not giving you a formula as a coach. I should not be giving you a formula that's going to cause you to do what? I'm not trying to give you a formula that's going to cause you to just be in the same place. I'm trying to give you milk because at some point I want you to get off the milk to get to the meat, right? The sincere milk should get you to the sincere meat. The sincere milk should get you to the sincere food, right? But things that are formulaic are trying to get you to the insincere food, the modified food, right? And by the way, formula is designed for the one baby it was designed for. Don't let them fool you. Well, there's no formula, and our formula is for no. The way milk is designed, milk is supposed to be designed. Even the cow's milk. That's why you got to be careful. A lot of you talking about, well, I got problems and I got to overgrown this and I'm too much weight because cow milk is designed to help a baby cow or a calf become a ton or 2-ton animal, right? Right. So if you're trying to drink what a cow or a bull is drinking when they're little, then you shouldn't be surprised when you're dealing with stuff that cows and bulls deal with. But here's the problem. You're not a cow or a bull. Now you got to deal with the bull of trying to live like a bull. Right. If you're taking goat milk, oh, that's better. It's lean, it's this, that, but it's still designed to take what? A baby goat, right? And take that calf or goat or whatever it's called and make that kid, right? And make it a baby and make it a whole goat. So why would you give them something that doesn't belong to them, right? So same thing in your walk. Make sure that there's a coach that's not giving you something that's formulaic. See, a formula is only designed for one baby, right? If formula is designed for a young white boy and you try to give it to young black children, as much as they might be able to grow off of it, they will only get so much growth because it's not designed for their growth. It's not designed to take them from the formula to something sincere for their life. And I'm not talking bad about you shouldn't do the vice versa, right? If you took a formula that was designed specifically for a young black boy or a young black girl and you try to give it to everybody else, there's going to be some deficiencies in it because the milk is designed, the way the body is designed, it needs the sincere milk to give that child a sincere chance to be able to grow into what they are sincerely called to be before the foundations of a sincere earth. So whoever's giving you coaching, make sure it's not too formulaic, right? I'm not saying that there aren't things that are not natural law. There aren't things that aren't highly repetitive. Of course there are. But be careful when you get into this stuff and you're not making sure that you do things in a righteous fashion and that you're not getting sincere milk. Sincere milk, if it's sincere, is going to help you to grow to be able to become independent from the parent, eventually becoming interdependent with the Most High and becoming interdependent with your nation. Amen. All right, we're going to take our leave on that. Thank you so much. I got to get some stuff done. and get back on the road. Pray for us. We appreciate you all. Thank you so much for attending. Prayerfully, we'll see you tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern New York time. And we'll continue in our series. I think we're on day 10 of removing the leaven from our home. Thank you so much for your presence, SOC University fam on Patreon. We did do a Q&A session tonight, so please make sure at your earliest convenience you go and check that out. And we'll try to make sure the other one is uploaded for you guys. And we'll have another one tomorrow. Every Thursday, we're going to shoot for 7 p.m. Eastern New York time for the Q&A session. Okay, so if you're part of SOC University, make sure that you show up 7 p.m. Eastern New York time. We're going to try to do that once a week. That'll be our sweet spot for that. Other than that, thank you. If you don't have the Clapper app for our watch party to continue on Saturday, please get that. And don't forget, sisters, you have the women's meeting coming up. Don't forget, sisters, and those who are coming as well on the cruise, December 6th to the 9th. Please contact Sister Renee if you haven't already. Make sure that you got your spot and everything taken care of for the cruise. And we look forward to seeing you guys and talking to you guys very soon. I appreciate you. And thank you guys so much. And you guys take care. As always, we give our honor and praise to the Most High. We give our praise and honor to him for my wife, the Honorable Amma, who lives a life that's able to be honored. As always, check her out on TikTok, YouTube, her website, and Pinterest at Bloom and Flourish. Not A-N-D, the letter N, Bloom and Flourish. She is a healer, herbalist, chemist, and biologist by degree. Thank you all for being on. I believe she actually sent out some packages and stuff today for you all. And we should have the Passover package form sent out and ready for you guys. I'll try to see even if we can put it on the link tree. So if you guys are interested in that, let us know. Fill out the form ASAP. We'll try to send it to as many people as we can. But see if you can find it on the link tree. It should be there. Not tonight. Hopefully by the end of the live session tomorrow, you'll be able to get on there and let us know if you want a Passover package, if you need one. And other than that, thank you again. As always, it's been Pastor Kofi, Pastor Servants of Christ, where we are always changing lives one mind at a time, but being a voice to the voiceless and speaking the unspoken. And until I have the great privilege, opportunity, and responsibility of being in front of you all again, please remember, as always, that you are loved, you are necessary, you are majestic, you are fearfully, wonderfully made, and you, which is all of us working together, will be the reason why people who are in this system no longer have to be of it. Shalom, peace, family, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care. Thank you again.